and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to talk about Orphan First Kill.
Yep.
The prequel to Orphan from 2009. So it took them 13 years to do this prequel. And yeah, we're here to talk about it here today.
Yeah, we just reviewed the first one, so we'll have to leave that down below if you haven't checked that one out yet.
Yeah, we watched it I don't know how we missed that one, but we watched that one just so we could watch this one, which is a new movie, so we could talk about it. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk movies, TVs, and entertainment news and all that stuff every single week, so you'll definitely enjoy it. Like the video. Comment down below if you've watched Orphan First Kill. A lot of people are watching this one and saying that they're really enjoying it. It is on Paramount Plus, right? Paramount Plus, did I get that right?
I think that's right.
Maybe Hulu, Peacock. It's hard to get all these streaming services straight nowadays. But yeah, Orphan First Kill. What were your thoughts on this one? Yeah,
so I feel like you always turn to me.
I do. I feel like I have to get your thoughts first.
So
you know, as a prequel to the first one, did you like it more? Did you like it less than the first one?
Having just we literally just watched the first one. The day before, or
yeah, and I feel like I'm gonna try to keep things straight in my head, but since we watched them both together, it feels like they do kind of blend into each other.
You think? Which is, I mean, that's good, right? That means they did a good job.
Yeah, that's honestly a compliment because they did a good job making them seamlessly work together. Yeah, I feel like.
But so yeah, having the first one be really fresh in our minds, I don't know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen our review for it, but I actually really liked Orphan, and so I gotta say I did not like this one as much as Orphan.
Yeah.
But I still think that it was a pretty solid.
As prequels go, as sequels go, I think this is probably about as good as it could have got. I think they did a good job. They established, it's really hard to top that twist that they did in the first one.
And they definitely tried to do another twist.
But they tried in this one to do another one that you weren't expecting, and they succeeded. I wasn't expecting what happened. Now, as for did that twist really pay off? Did it make a whole lot of sense by the time we got to the end of the movie? I don't know about that. I still got some questions there, but I'll try not to spoil too much with this review since this is such a fresh movie. I don't know. I mean, this is a prequel, so it's set 2 years before the first Orphan. And, spoiler alert if you didn't see the first one, but it turns out at the end of the first one that Esther is actually 33 years old. She's not a child.
Right.
And in this one, she's supposed to be 31. So they use the same actress, Isabel Furman, and she's obviously 13 years older than the little girl was in the first one. So they have to do a lot of trickery, and I still notice during the movie that she's obviously older in this one. Yeah, and different looking.
Yeah, she, they had to do some de-aging, but I still don't think that it was very effective because
she looked much older.
Yeah, it was very obvious that she was, a grown-up. But
it's fine. I can suspend my disbelief and and enjoy it for what it is.
But to be fair too, once you already know the twist and know that she actually is an adult, that might add to it being so obvious, Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. I don't know if the de-aging completely worked, but like you said, it was good enough.
Yeah.
And, I think we saw that when they were filming, the other actors had to wear, kind of platform shoes so that they looked, or that she looked smaller.
Yeah.
To all of them.
Yeah, that was cool. I always like hearing people try to come up with practical solutions for problems like that instead of just straight up de-aging her and doing some kind of computer trickery where she looks shorter. But
yeah, but even though they did do stuff like that, I still feel like there were parts in the movie where it looked kind of CGI. I always say CGI.
CGI.
When they were just trying to make her look smaller. I don't know. And there were some other parts, without spoiling it, there's a fire, which about this fire in the first one. You hear about it.
Yeah, I thought that, again, another cool tie-in. I felt like this really rolled into, the first one.
But, I was telling you, it's easy to tie a movie in together when you're going back in time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
you're like, okay, well, we said this happened, so when we go back, we gotta talk about it. So you know what I mean?
It's just appreciated that it did that. I mean, they don't have to do stuff like that. They could have just completely ignored it and went off script or whatever.
But I was gonna say, like, there's a scene with the fire or whatever, and that whole scene looked super fake to me.
Yeah, the fire looked very
like
very low
there's
budget
a scene where they're on
CGI.
the house, and it just looks kind of. But it's
I try to ignore that kind of stuff with like movies like this because I'm sure the budget wasn't extremely high for Orphan First Kill, so I try to take it for what it is. But I getting into the whole de-aging thing and bringing back the same actress, like I completely understand why they brought Isabel back because she is kind of the main strength of this franchise at this point. I think her performance as Esther is great. I think she's
for sure. She
legitimately just good in this in this kind of creepy kid role. But also like badass and menacing. And it's like you could totally buy that she can mess somebody up just with her performance. I think she does a really good job.
Yeah, she's definitely a violent person, and she's not actually a creepy kid, so she's actually a creepy adult.
She's a creepy adult, as we learn. But just going back into what this again, it takes place 2 years before, so you get to see her back in the mental asylum, I guess where she started, and then you get to see her escape from there, and then you get to see how she gets into the orphanage, which is where they found her in the first one. And then she gets in with another family, and this is
I was talking about the family. I feel like I guess it's because we don't look too much into it before we watch. But again, I did not know that. Is her name Julia Stiles?
Julia Stiles. I did know she was in it, but only because I saw her name on the poster.
Okay, gotcha. I was kind of like, wow, I haven't seen her in anything in a while, and so I feel like she's
been in a couple low budget horror movies recently.
Probably. I feel like she did pretty good.
She did good, and again, don't want to spoil anything, but the stuff that she's required to do in this film, I felt like she pulled it off very well. I thought she was really good. Like again, we don't see Julia Stiles in a lot of stuff anymore.
Right.
She was kind of in the teen movie genre for a little bit in the early 2000s. I know she did the Bourne.
I Hate About You.
The Bourne movies, but we didn't really watch those. I didn't either. She was in the Omen remake, so there was another horror movie she was in. But I thought she did a good job.
Yeah, I gotta say though, the dad in this one was awful to me.
Yeah.
He was just...
If you thought the dad from the first Orphan movie was annoying as hell, this one upped the ante for sure.
I don't know. I don't remember saying that he was annoying. Did you?
I felt like he was slightly... The problem I had with the dad in the first one is he was so quick to want to blame everything on Vera Farmiga's character.
Yeah, but this dad in this one... was just super
sitting in the room just switching the black light on and off. And it's a cool gimmick at first, the whole black light thing, and that goes into the aesthetic of the movie and all that stuff.
Literally the poster.
I know how that plays into the first film because he was basically teaching her how to paint and use the black light, and she does that in the first movie. And
it's like we said earlier, it's
he's
very
just sitting there for the camera just holds on him for 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, he doesn't actually have a switch; it's a clicker in his hand.
Clicker, whatever it is.
That's the part that annoyed you. I'm just talking about his performance in general, when he would talk.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. But again, it's a low budget horror movie. I don't expect the best acting ever. Just getting into the kills and the overall I think most people want to know when they go into watching a horror movie: is it going to scare them? Is it going to thrill them? And I think that this one has some good kills in it for sure, but I think we talked about it when we were watching it. It went for a long stretch, it felt like, where really nothing happened.
I don't know. I did feel like that when we were watching it, but then I was trying to think about the first one too, and I'm like, she really didn't there weren't too many things that happened as far as violence or death or whatever.
There kind of was. I felt like it did a better job of kind of building the escalation of events and stuff.
You don't feel like there was as much of a space.
You get you get some cool kills in the beginning of this movie, then it kind of eases off that until about the halfway point, and then it kind of ramps things up again at the beginning. I don't know. I just felt like the first one was a little bit more suspenseful. Like I said, it reminded me of The Good Son. And I felt like it had that quality going for it throughout, whereas this one didn't really, because you already knew Esther was evil and she was out to try to kill everybody.
But maybe again it's kind of going into it's always kind of confusing when you're thinking about okay, this happened then, and then we're going back in time now. So, like, in the first one, maybe she's more experienced, so she was, like, you know, she was smarter about her moves and stuff.
That's true. She did feel more methodical.
This one, she was more, just, I don't know. She still still seemed like she thought about stuff, but yeah, definitely not as, like, strategic, maybe.
Yeah, she made a lot more mistakes, I feel like, in this one that exposed her a lot more than she did in the first one, for sure. So I can totally get that. And yeah, it does make sense. Yeah. It makes sense. But
I don't know. I feel like overall, like, the writers or the creators, whatever, I feel like they really, like, thought about all the details and, you know.
Like I said, it goes right with it pairs with the first one pretty perfectly. So I will say, if you're a fan of the first Orphan movie at all, I would absolutely recommend watching this. It's a good movie. It's a solid horror movie, especially, you know, if you have Paramount Plus, you can just boot it up and watch it. You don't have to go to the theater to check this thing out, even though I think it might have some kind of limited run at theaters or something if you did want to see it in theaters. But I don't know. You want to slap a overall score on this? Are you ready for it? I'm going to give this one, I give the first one a 4 out of a 5. I'll give this one a solid 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't think it was as good, but it's still a good movie. It's got some cool kills. I think, you know, it still retains that Orphan quality that we came to know and love from the first one. So
yeah. I'm trying to think if I want to give it a 3.5 or a 3.75.
You gave that first one a 4 as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Like I said, the twist that's in this movie is good. It's just I had some questions. So it didn't feel like it worked like it should have. Yeah. I don't know. Some parts of it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 as well.
Okay. You just really don't want to give it the same score as me. That's what it is. That's why you had to think about it.
I mean, you know, it's kind of
You don't want to be on the same page at all. But look, we're married. We've been together for 15, 20 years now. Dude,
15.
We're on the same page sometimes. We're on the same wavelength. That's what happens sometimes.
I guess.
That's what happens. But look, we're done with this review of Orphan First Kill. Definitely let us know your thoughts on it in that comment section below. Subscribe to our channel. Like this video. Turn on the bell notifications. Follow us on our social media account. That link is down below in the description. See you next time.
Bye, guys.